So, Cliff, what an amazing week for these revelations. I mean, and we should put a little asterisk around them because these are things that we have known about at least elliptically. On this program, we've had Thomas Drake talking about why he was persecuted by the U.S. government for whistleblowing on the NSA. I think we're seeing now we see sort of concrete evidence of what Thomas Drake was talking about. And we have talked about how Wyden and Udall, the senators in the House, have been talking about the reauthorization of the Patriot Act and their claims, which were cryptic because they couldn't express them explicitly because of the secret nature of this information, that laws were being used in a way that they did not believe the American public were aware that they were being used. And there's, I just, the latest, of course, we had spoken yesterday to Marcy Wheeler about these NSA revelations. Today or last night, we hear about the revelations of almost a much larger program of surveillance of just about, I don't know how to quantify it in terms of all internet traffic in the United States, but 10 of the major sort of portals in which people use the internet being surveilled in real time. Presumably also, anybody watching this on YouTube, for instance, or that Skype call I gave last night to my dad when my son was crying, all of it.
They heard it all, man.
Yeah, it's true. Now, Cliff is being circumspect here, and one must wonder why. No, but I mean, this is, I don't know. Just give me your broad take on this. I mean, I don't even know where to begin.
No, well, that's kind of the tough thing, isn't it? It's sort of, I mean, we all knew this. Obviously, we knew with the Patriot Act, which is why a lot of us wanted to get rid of that thing, what was going on in some more generalities. But there's still nothing like having it kind of thrown in your face and knowing the specifics and just how wide a net has been cast. There's knowing and then there's knowing. And when you bring up all the portals, I mean, hell, they were in everything. If you still have a Friendster account, I think they're probably there.
Yeah. No.
I mean, they weren't missing anything. Google, Facebook, it's sort of, Microsoft. I mean, it's amazing in its scope. And I've seen conflicting reports. I don't know what's fully true yet and what's not, but it seems to me that from everything, it just seems that really pretty much getting on the list just means actually just showing up there.
Right. I mean,
go ahead.
Well, I mean, the issue here is, I mean, there's a couple of sort of themes that come out of this. One is a theme that we've been talking about quite a bit on this program for the past couple of years, primarily dealing with the national security state. And that is that the excesses of the Bush administration, by excesses, or I should rephrase that. The Bush administration was doing things without any statutory authority to do things. They were doing it by virtue of executive power. When Barack Obama ran for president in 2008, he spoke out against these. There's a lot of video floating around that people are tweeting and whatnot, purportedly showing President Obama criticizing the same things that he's been engaged in. But if you look at them carefully, you see that he is talking about their illegality, or they're operating outside a framework of a statutory framework. What has become clear under the Bush?
As long as you can make them legal, they're cool.
That's basically it, right? I mean, this is I referenced.
Although I still don't think even if the FISA court granted these wide, for example, this wide latitude to do this, I don't think that may be technically legal at that particular moment, but it doesn't make it constitutional.
Well,
Right?
that's a secondary issue. Well, maybe it's not secondary, but that's another issue. I mean, let's just start with this notion that clearly what the Obama administration has been trying to do, and Charlie Savage wrote an extended essay on this that we had interviewed him about, I guess, over a year ago now, where he talked about the difference between the Bush administration and the Obama administration was that the Obama administration really brought these things into a statutory framework. There's another element of this, which is that much of the interpretation of the statutes, and Noah Feldman wrote a good piece on this in Bloomberg, I think it was today or yesterday, where he says, like, look, we've seen this time and time with the Obama administration, where there is a legal framework for this stuff, but key elements of creating that legal framework are done in secret. So in other words, the FISA court signs off on this. They are simply interpreting a law, and we don't know if they've interpreted the law, or there is some question as to whether or not they interpreted the law properly, insofar as Congress said you can suck up information that is related to an investigation, but it was so broad that some are arguing that Congress, and this is what I think Wyden and Udall were saying, we passed this statute, but we don't think that people understand how it's being interpreted. And that interpretation is coming from a secret court, which we have no oversight of. So it doesn't really provide a proper check and balance. We saw the same thing with the Assassination Tuesdays. We don't know the secret law that supposedly makes the laws that emanate from it. We don't know what that is. And so we have a regime of secret law that is supposedly making all of this stuff kosher. And this is very problematic in and of itself.
You get a few bad judges, who make bad decisions based on that in secret. And let's be honest, we've got some judges. I mean, what if Clarence Thomas is sitting on that court? I mean, hell, Jeff Sessions was a judge before. In fact, he got rejected by Republicans and Democrats when Reagan tried to appoint him, so he did the next best thing and ran for Senate from Alabama. And, of course, the people thought all his racist views were cool. You know who else was a judge? Louis Gohmert was a judge. I mean, so just think about that for a second. And that's the problem here, and I think this connects to the conversation we had, I don't remember if it was a week, 2 weeks, whatever ago, on drones. Because, my response to all that is, that we needed some sort of oversight, but I understand that some of the stuff needs to be done in secret. And so maybe we could have something like a FISA court, but then you get this thrown in your face where the FISA court is essentially acting as an enabler. It doesn't seem to care about people's right to privacy or anything. And so that's the problem with all of this stuff, is finding the balance. Because you want there to be oversight of some sort, but if the oversight is always in secret, who is it that gets appointed to these courts? Who is it that are on these bodies, whether they be legislative, judicial, whatever, that are making these decisions? This is difficult stuff, man.
Yeah.
And obviously when you look at what just happened, how can you have faith in this?
Yeah, and I think, the Verizon or the first revelations of hoovering up this metadata, which presumably is not just Verizon, it's probably all phone companies, and it's not just this 3-month period. It's probably an ongoing thing that gets reauthorized every 3 months or so. The question as to whether or not it bumps up against the Fourth Amendment there is less clear, because there was this case, and I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember what it was, but Maryland v. somebody, and essentially the Supreme Court found that this type of metadata does not bump up against the Fourth Amendment. Now, you can agree or disagree with that ruling of the Supreme Court, and this court certainly is not terribly sensitive to the Fourth Amendment as far as these things go. Or
really anything that makes any sense.
Right. And so,
as you'll know, Sam, the next time you tie on a few too many, and you're a little bit drunk, stumbling down the street, get arrested for public drunkenness, and they grab your DNA.
Indeed. They start to swab my DNA to find out who my relatives are and who else might be publicly drunk at different times. But this PRISM thing seems to go beyond that, because this is actual surveillance. They're actually looking at the content. Now, I don't know if there's individuals sitting in an office somewhere looking at this. Their algorithms look at the content, and then I imagine from there. And the issue with the Prism thing is that supposedly this stuff has an algorithm that has a 51% chance of identifying whether or not one of the people engaged in the internet communication is from a foreign source. It's a rather dubious claim.
A 51% chance?
Yes, that's
I
basically
like those odds.
that's how they justify this. And so it's. I mean, and then there's another question. There's a blistering New York Times editorial saying, though this may be legal in the context of a legal framework, it shows that there still can be tremendous excesses that if you allow for the discretion of the executive to sort of get into this mix, they're always, the executive, no matter who it is going to take advantage of this, and it's problematic.